Welcome back to my channel. Last time we did the unboxing of the Magic Shack. Most of it. We didn't get into the packaged up hard pieces. But today we're going to start working on it. So we're going to pull out all these parts. We didn't open this up last time, but we will today. And here's all our packaged pieces. And looking through this book, there is literally no written instructions except this right here. Everything else, and this, everything else is pictures. So this is like miniatures for dummies. Should be pretty easy for us. But we're going to go ahead and start this. One nice thing in this kit, they did add some tools. The tweezers aren't very, very sturdy, but they're functional. We've got a roller. It's very bendable, but it will measure for us, and both sides are in centimeters. We got a screwdriver. And a little pair of scissors. I doubt that I'll be using these. And a utility knife, a disposable one. These always come in handy. It is about as good a quality as you can get in these little disposable ones. And then a tweezer here, and it's pretty flimsy. But it may be functional. I'll try to use it a little bit, but I may go back to my bent ones. Now, my first suggestion is we take these and iron them flat. So that way we don't have any problems with them. Of course, do it with a dry iron. And I'll do that off camera. And last time we looked at all this stuff in here. I didn't take any of it out, but this is most likely our flower pots and our lights. And of course, our battery compartment and wires. And then greenery and floral wire and other black wire and some green tissue paper and some gravel stones, some charms, flower stamens, and then here, we'll use our utility knife, is our main pieces. And they're in a nice little stack. Now when you take these pieces out of the frame, you do need to be a little careful. You'll probably want to use this to disconnect the tiny little spots where they're still connected, because you don't want them to break. But as you can see, every piece is annotated, identified. So that is a good thing. And they are to match up in our book of pictures. I'll put these little tools over here. Now, one thing this kit did not come with is glue. So I put a little bit of Aleene's Turbo tacky in one of these fine point bottles. I'll see how that works. And this supposedly dries clear. I've never used this particular type. I've used Aleene's before, but not the Turbo Tacky. It's supposed to dry faster, supposed to dry clear. So I'm hoping it doesn't dry shiny, which it probably will. But here is all the piece identification, just like we had in the flower house, which was on a separate page. So right here we can see, here's C02, And it's actually this way, or it might even actually be this way. So we'll be able to identify. And they're color coded. We've got like tan and reds and browns and more reds and more browns. So they might be clumped in a certain order. And this is G and H. I'm going to assume that these are the steps in which we use them. Oh, and here it does say take out the wood parts correctly. Use a cutter to cut the nodes to take out the parts, front and back nodes. Because if you look here, there's little connections between these pieces. And you want to cut them with your knife, or you'll wind up breaking your wood. So, I'm not exactly sure. We got A, B, C, D, E here. And that's how these pieces are identified. These are all A's. And here's B's. And C's and D's, E's. And then we got E, F, G. And then G here. And then H. And I guess I also. No, there's no I. Just H to J. Ends at J40. And then we start in with H. H02, which is not that. Oh, yes, it is. The pink here is H02. So it shows you what it looks like originally, and then it shows you what you are to do with it. And then it gives us H1, and here's H1, and then H09 times 4. So that's how they're identifying it. And this looks like a lot of fun. We have a lot of books to put together. It's really cute. We'll go ahead and start some of this. But before I get to the paper products part, I will iron these down so they are easier to work with and glue properly. And we'll just page through some of these pieces just to look at them. It's cute. Here's a ladder. Here's a rocking chair. Looks like a cabinet. And banisters, stairways, ladder for sure. And I don't know, a roof. Oh, actually some of this might be backwards. But on this side are our identifications. It's really cute. And if you accidentally break a piece, don't fret. Just glue it together. I did that on the last model. I had a piece that was curved like this and tried to straighten it out, and it snapped in half. So I made it wet because it was that kind of plastic wood. And I glued it together and I put it under something heavy. I left it there for a day, and a day later it came out perfect. I used it on the inside of the doorway where you would never see it, and you don't see it. So don't fret if you break something, because that happens. So there's a lot less prep in this miniature than we had in our last miniature. We can literally just dive right into this one. So first I'm going to start gathering up the materials first. So I'll get our H2 and our H1 out. Here's H1 and H2. And then we have H9 and 4 of those. Now they may be double-ended, so that would mean we need to cut them in half. And that's exactly what I'm seeing. There are no more. There's 2 of them that we need to cut in half. And we need pot J06. I'm going to take this out of here for now. This is in its own little bag, and set that aside because we don't need that and it's kind of clogging up this bag. So here is our J6. It looks like a lug nut. Some of these pieces are very similar to the last miniature we worked on. So first we want to cut this into 4 strips because we want 4 flowers. And these will need to be cut in half. And then we want to snip them along the top edge, or one edge of it. Pinch and roll that at the bottom a little. Open these up. Oh, it's getting cute. That's got really cute. Let me show there's a little more closed. There we go. That's adorable. Next, we put the 4 flowers together and we have to cut this. We also have to use some of that for these lilac flowers. We got a measurement here, 4 by 2.5 centimeters. And then it shows to put glue along the bottom and wrap up the bunch of flowers in it. And there we go. That's adorable. Got very cute. We're going to plant number 5. Looks almost like lavender. So we need the HO1 and we need two of them at 2.5 centimeters by 2 centimeters. So we just need to cut this in half because this is 2.5 centimeters. 1, 2.5, and this was 4. So we just need to cut it right here. We need 4 of H08, which is the purple stamens, and like the yellow ones, there's 2 double-ended stamens. So there's only going to be 2 pieces that we pull out. 1, 2. Now, literally, we do not have to cut these in half. We can just fold them in half. And since we're not putting anything around them except the grass, I'm just going to fold it in half. We could have did that with these up here. But because we had to roll them, I like them individual. That way the one wouldn't be flopping around. So I'm going to try to make sure to keep my ink marks on the inside at the bottom and basically just cut this along the same lines as we cut the other one. And next we're going to glue them just slightly down from the top. Right about there. It's really cute. And there we go with that one. We got 2 really cute bunches of lavender. And now we're going to stick them in pot J02. Which is this pot. That looks cute. It just needs to dry and maybe be fiddled with a little more later. There we go. Oops. Love that color too. And we can continue on. With 2-2, shows that right here. And now we fold it along this line here. I personally like to use a roller to get a score in it. And I know I'm doing it the opposite way, but it will help it fold this way now. And it will be pretty good. So I got yellow lines here on both sides. We're going to glue this together and then cut them out. So you want this to be pretty accurate. So like I said, I have the yellow lines on this side and here. And we can sharpen this crease a bit. And then we cut out individual leaves. And it says, bring your own paper towel to cushion the bottom of the basket. And we need pot J03. Which is this one. It's square at the top. Oh, we've got a little stowaway in here. Let's put him back in. It's square at the top and tapers to round at the bottom. Let's see if they give any more instructions. They do not. So we have to glue each one of these leaves in there individually. Honestly, I don't like that. What I'm going to do is cut down almost to the bottom and keep a strip along here. It just will be easier to glue inside this pot. I'm going to attempt to cut on the outside of these yellow lines. It's matching up pretty good. Now, they don't specifically say it, but the way you want to roll this, let me grab some paper towel first. Grab our little piece of paper towel, and it's not going to be much. It might not even be, should be this much. But we're trying. And that's just to keep, well, could actually use some more. To keep the leaves from falling through the bottom. But I want this depth to be at least the depth of this. So the way a snake plant grows, it grows from the inside. So we want to roll this with the smallest part inside. And I kind of have a curve on my leaves, so I'm also rolling that to the inside. And this should roll up and perfectly fit this pot. That's what we're hoping for. Without too much problem. Now they're all bunched together, but once it dries, I'm hoping this is drying clear too. We'll just gush some glue in there. Look, that fits perfect. You can't even see our little border. We got some napkin out the bottom, but I'm sure we'll glue this down so you'll never see that. So I'm going to just let this sit and dry. And once it's dry, I will adjust the leaves a bit, open them up, pull them out, make sure they're looking pretty good. And I'm looking here, so far it's starting to get clearer in there on this glue. So I'm not disappointed yet with it. Put them over here. Everything's getting so cute. Let's wipe up our little desk area here. Keep that glue down. Okay. Now we're going to go on to this little palm tree. And we want 2-3, which is right beside where we were. And we're going to cut some wires. And then fold this in half, stick those wires through, fold it in half and glue it. Seems pretty easy. What needs to be exact is this fold line right there. That's what needs to be exact, which is why I like to use a ruler to get a little crease in there. Even though I'm doing it on the opposite side of the way I want it to fold, it will help it. Now, because the ruler has some depth to it, you don't want to be right on that line. You want to be slightly back from it. So when it folds, see, it folds right on that line. And now it should bend the opposite way, right on that line. Now we need some wire. And we want 2 at 6 centimeters, 2 at 5 centimeters, and 2 at 4 centimeters. The 2 6 millimeters will be on 2 big leaves. The 5 will be on the other 2 big leaves, and the 4s will be on the smaller leaves. Alrighty. Then they're showing to put some little loops in each end of this. That's just to help hold it from pulling through the paper. I'm going to start with a needle through here. If you hold it up to a light, you can see it. Or alternatively, you could come through the front. But this is a pretty big needle, so it's making a decent enough hole. And I'm hoping that it will help. Yes, it does. That helps a lot. We do not want them pulled all the way through. So let me get that crease back in. Probably, like that, a smidge. And then apply some glue. So now here we cut these individual leaves out. I wouldn't go too close to the stem. Leave a bit of a generous amount there at the bottom. So I have this permanent marker here. It's a little more blue than green, but I think it's going to match well, just to cover these white edges. Looks so much better. And now we want us to put them in J05, which is this brown bead here. Which it too is a bead with a hole straight through. So we might want to bunch these together a bit and put something around them and glue it in there, because then we bend them right at the leaves. So this is not going to work. So let's get a little bit of paper towel. So we'll just let that dry and then come along and bend the leaves out. So today we did this cute little carnation type pot of flowers, a pot of lilacs, a snake plant, and then this palm type tree. Well, I hope you enjoyed this today. Thank you for coming. See you next time.